Yes. What's up, everybody? Welcome back, Offsides Podcast. What's up, my man Pete? How you feeling today, bro?
What's going on, man?
Oh, another day. Crazy day today. Crazy day today. Um, I did not expect what I saw in the news. For y'all that don't know, Robert Salah got fired today, was fired. A lot of speculations on it. Jordan Schultz, he normally comes on Speak. He's an analyst.
He's good. He's
Yeah,
good, that guy.
He uh he said that he spoke with people at Jets Drive. I guess that's at the Jets organization at the facility there, and he said that the owner didn't talk to anybody. Like he left the office, went bypassed the GM, bypassed the coaches, went straight to Salah and said, "Yo, you out." And the sources, even Salah said he didn't see it coming. He got back from London Monday. They were prepping for Monday Night Football. Today he came into work. He started telling people what they need to do, and boom, he's gone, man. So that's crazy to me. Just to go real quick, week 5 before we get into it, because I want to discuss that Salah situation a little further, and give it the little time that it deserves. Not too much time. I seen the whole show, give it 2 hours of discussion, and I mean, after a while, I was like, y'all saying the same thing in just a different question format. You know what I'm saying?
I
Um,
get why I get why it's getting the attention is because of Aaron Rodgers.
yeah.
Because the speculation is he had to have something to do with it when he tried to push him away a couple of weeks ago on when they played the Patriots and he went to get him a hug and he pushed him away. I get why it's getting the attention that it's getting. I get it completely.
Yeah, I mean, the owner, I think, put out a tweet or something, or somebody put something out where they were like that Aaron Rodgers had nothing to do with. This is what they said. The owner did speak with Aaron Rodgers the night before, but it had nothing to do with
Yep.
uh Salah's firing. And I just feel like that's cleanup. I feel like that's a cleanup statement because you don't want people to think about it. So let's talk about it. We can always recap the games later on before we do the predictions for week 6. But um I think he has something to do with it. Okay. Now, I'm not gonna say Salah's the greatest coach ever because he was struggling. 7-3, 7-12, 2 seasons back to back. He's 20-36. He had the Mike White situation, the Zach Wilson situation. It didn't work out. Now, for me, Pete, yes, you're the head coach, you're in charge of the entire team, right? But that's why you hire certain people to run certain factions of the team, right? So you have your OC, your DC, and your special teams. Then let's say defensive side of the ball, you have your defensive line coach, your linebackers coach, your DBs coach. On the OC side, you have your offensive line coach, you have your running backs coach, your wide receivers coach. You even got a quarterback coach that helps the quarterback out. Yes, he can draft, and the GM is there. One thing watching your team during Hard Knocks, I didn't see Dable do a decision or make a decision during the draft or anything when they came to signing players that was not a discussion with everybody in the room. When he was looking at defense, he brought your defensive coordinator in to give his opinion of who he wanted. I don't think blaming Salah for the downfall or the demise is really fair in that sense. Look at it how you've been looking at it, and like you said, because of Aaron Rodgers, what's your take on how we got here?
Like you said, he's not the best. He wasn't the best coach, but he was the only one that you can see what he brought to the table was being shown every week. He's the defensive guy. He's coaching the defense, and the defense is one of the best in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they brought in Aaron Rodgers to kind of like get the offense to where they want it to be. You got Garrett Wilson, you got Brees Hall, and now you got Aaron Rodgers. So you thinking, yeah, we're good now. They're 2-3. They looked bad against Denver last weekend. They looked bad in London. And apparently this guy's big dog in London, Woody Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
got embarrassed. So somebody had to catch it for the way the team looked this weekend and overall. Now, he's not the only one. that should have gotten it if they were going to fire somebody. Uh, from what I heard this morning on I do watch the herd. Gotta admit that's the only thing I watch on FS1. They like that guy Jordan that you were talking about. He's on
Yeah.
there usually. They got good guests, but from what they said was Salah was gonna demote Hackett
Mm,
because the problem is with the offense. It's not with the defense. It's with the offense. He was gonna demote Hackett, but that's Aaron Rodgers' handpicked guy.
mm-hmm.
So what's gonna happen if you do that? So what happened was apparently at the same time that was the agenda. Like yo, like I'm making this move today. He got called into Woody Johnson's office and was told he's not the head coach anymore. Now, this is not just his fault. I mean, is he the scapegoat right now? He is. But the GM, you still got Hassan Reddick. You haven't this guy's doing some ill holdout, like, and he's getting nothing from it because he's losing a whole bunch of money, but he
Mm-hmm.
refuses to come in and play. That's not Salah's fault.
Mm-mm.
The offense not being able to run the ball, I that's not Salah's fault.
Mm-mm.
That would go on Hackett.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wilson was the second pick in the draft. They passed on Jamar Chase. They passed on Penny Sewell from the Lions, the offensive lineman. Patrick Surtain, Micah Parsons. They passed on this guy. They passed on those guys for Zach Wilson. That's not Salah's fault. Joe Douglas is the GM. He deserves a lot of the blame as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. To me, this was. I need to make. I need to do something. I need to show face because shit doesn't look like the way I wanted it to look or I thought it was gonna look. So I got to do something to make people so people can see that I'm trying to handle this shit. That's to me how it came out.
So
Do I think Aaron Rodgers had anything to do with it? No, but do I think he's broken up about it? No.
I don't think he had anything. So his play had a lot to do with it, right? His play. Um, Lazard is there because of Rodgers. Hackett is there because of Rodgers. Um, they're trying to go after Devontae Adams because Rodgers is there, and Devontae Adams said he'd rather play with a quarterback he knows. So either Carr's out now, he's out.
That's
For,
not happening. Yep.
yep. So that you might as well forget the Saints. So now you got is the Jets, but then you have the Steelers and Bills trying to be aggressive to get him. We'll talk about that later. But I think here's my problem, right? So why I watched the herd too. I didn't watch it today because I was rewatching the facility because on YouTube TV it just automatically records it for you, so you can just go back and watch it. And on the facility is Acho, James Jones, Chase Daniels, and Shady McCoy. And you know, James Jones is a big Aaron Rodgers fan, so he's always going to stick up for him. But Chase Daniels brought out like, hey, the facts are whenever something's going wrong, the people that get fired or get talked about isn't the person that's causing the problem, is the other people outside. So he's saying there's a history with Aaron Rodgers when he doesn't like certain things, how you know how he is. One thing Shady said, and I'm I get it. You're the head coach. So as the head coach, everything that happens is your fault. I understand that. However, like he said, you don't have Andy Reid's not going to go into the defense and tell Steve Spagnuolo how to run his defense. He's not doing that.
No.
He's going to tell him, listen, we giving up yards, get your defense together. But he's not walking in there and telling Steve Spagnuolo, oh, Chris Jones can't. No, he's not doing that. Sean McVay's not doing that. Kyle Shanahan's not doing that. Who is another offensive minded head coach? What I'm trying to say is that the defensive coaches are always going to stick to the defensive side of the ball, and the OCs are always going to stick to the OC. If you notice, Belichick, when he was on the Patriots, there was times he's out talking to special teams or defense. But why is he talking to special teams? Because on the Giants, that's what he did, special teams,
Yeah.
before he came over to defense. And then defense, that's what he's known for. You don't ever see those guys cross-train and jump into the other side. Well, I understand, but that's why I hire you. If I'm the boss, right? If I'm the head coach and I'm looking like, yo, Pete, I'm gonna bring you on board because you're a head OC that I want. Your mindset, we're on the same page. I'm expecting you to get that OC, that offense in line. Now, if you tell me, Frank, look, the offensive line is fucking atrocious. I need to bring in Hubert to do the line. Okay, then let's go get him. I'll go to the GM. I'll go to Jumbo. Hey, Jumbo, listen, we need to get this GM. We need to get this money to get this guy because Pete wants him. I feel like he took the brunt of it. I didn't know about him wanting to uh, take some of the responsibilities away from Hackett. That makes a lot of sense now. Ownership already committed to Rodgers. And they flew out there to get him. People want to say he didn't develop Zach Wilson. I mean, he's a DC. The defense right now is third or second in yards allowed,
Yeah.
second in passing yards allowed, second in points allowed, or top seven in points allowed. My bad. Top number 7 or 6 in points allowed. The only place they're struggling is on rushing yards allowed. But in total yards allowed, they're second in the league. Second. And you're in the top 10 of points allowed. You telling me Aaron Rodgers couldn't get you three picks and 1 pick 6? That's not on Salah.
It's not. None of it is. But
No.
but again, like I said, he's the fall guy right now.
Yeah.
Somebody was gonna feel it because and Woody Johnson is quoted as saying this is the best team he's had. One of the best teams he's
Yeah.
had. They're under 500. Somebody had to catch it. Honestly, the GM got some blame. Salah got some blame as well. Not all of it. And Hackett got the Denver job because I don't know if you remember at that time, the rumors was Aaron Rodgers was going
Go there, yeah.
to Denver. So they said, yo, let's get him in Denver so we can have once Aaron Rodgers gets there, but then that didn't happen.
Yeah.
They fired him mid-season in his first year. This dude
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that
He was
bad.
gone. Yeah, he was gone.
And then, of course, he's on the Jets now because of Aaron Rodgers. And he's not doing the job because the offense is shitty.
You
So
know,
this guy needs he's one of the main culprits, and he's nothing happened to him, which it should have, because that's Aaron Rodgers' boy.
but he also didn't get promoted interim head coach either.
He shouldn't have. I mean, oh my God, if that would have happened, forget it, bro.
But Jeff Albright got promoted up. Um, I don't we could talk about it probably the whole hour, to be honest with you, because you could point out so many different things. Me personally, I think Rodgers is washed. I think he's not the same guy. He hasn't been the same guy. His last year in Green Bay was atrocious. For his standards, he hasn't thrown for 300 yards in a game in I don't know how long. Um, Now he's 40. He's coming off this injury. He's still not as mobile as he used to be. The line is not protecting as much as it should. I think they put the eggs in one basket for no reason. And here's why. Hear me out. And you could tell me if I'm offline with it or not. But I believe that Aaron Rodgers, with his 4 NFL MVPs and 1 Super Bowl, he has enough experience where no matter what Hackett is calling, you're on the field. You see the defense, you see what they're doing, and if you're that nice, then you should be elevating your receivers. Then I saw like you're not going. I don't know. I just feel like there's no fear in that offense. They don't put fear into a defense. So whether it's running the ball, throwing the ball, a defense playing the Jets right now is like whatever. We could take them because if they still feared you like or let's say respected you like they once did as Aaron Rodgers that can get the ball to anybody, they wouldn't be playing you like they playing you. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I feel he's washed. What's your take on it?
I don't want to say washed because like I think he's still a legitimate NFL quarterback, but he looks like a 40-year-old quarterback who ruptured his Achilles last year. And it's harder to get your body back the way it was the older you get. So he's gonna be 41 in a couple months. Like this dude, he's taken a lot of hits. He's been injured before in his career and not like just banged up. He's had injuries where he's missed weeks. So it's a lot. And that's a major injury that he had last year. And he looks it. He looks rusty. Again, he doesn't have time. He doesn't have time with these guys. That's what they're talking about, bringing in Devontae Adams. But I think if they bring in Devontae Adams, it's gonna look cool. Like they're gonna put up their numbers. They're gonna look great together. But I don't think that makes the team any better. But because Hackett is still calling plays, so who knows?
So All right. So now that last part, you make it better. So you, in your opinion, and Adams ain't going to help out because I was going to ask you that next.
Not the way I think, not the way they think it's gonna. I don't think they're gonna instantly become the, oh my God, this offense is amazing. Look, it's clicking, everybody's, killing it. Nah, I don't think it's gonna do that. When was the last time you played with Devontae Adams?
Shit, bro. I mean,
Two
well,
years.
2 or 3 years, maybe.
Yeah, that's right,
Oh,
2 or 3 years. So
yeah.
listen, I don't I who knows if it's gonna just like riding a bike when they get back together, but it doesn't, you gotta run the ball too, and they haven't been able to run the ball.
I I don't know, man. It was one game. I forgot which one it was. Um, Actually, I think it was his London game. I said, hey, if they had another receiver, because I feel like when he's at the age now where he needs the help, right? I'm being fair. When he was younger, he didn't need that as much talent. He could make it do what it do. But he's older now, and as you get older, you need help. You need sometimes you need a little bit more players that make up for what you can't do no more. And I thought that maybe having Adams there, because right now, if I'm a defense, I'm focusing on Wilson. So I could double Wilson. I'm gonna force you to throw that ball to Conklin, Lazard, whoever
So
else
he
is
can drop it. So he
Williams.
can drop it.
Yep, exactly. So he could drop it. But if you got Adams and Wilson, now okay, if I double both, you could run the ball with Brees Hall or the kid Allen, right? Who's not a bad running back. If I double both, now there's not that much pressure on Lazard or Mike Williams that you could do more. The presence of him on the field, you have to account for Adams on the field. Make sense?
I, no, it does. I heard somebody else said that too, and I get it. I get why people would think that way, but I don't know if it's that easy because you just said he's washed. I said he looks like a 40-year-old quarterback who's coming off a major injury. So Devontae Adams is supposed to make him younger now, or it's supposed to,
Eh,
supposed to heal him. Like
I say
he's
I
got
say
a fucked up
washed.
knee. He's got a fucked up knee and a fucked up ankle.
Yeah, I say he's washed because I'm a little upset the fact that Salah got fired because of all this. But then again, remove Rodgers out of it, remove these 5 games, you still had 2 losing seasons. You know what I'm saying? We can't take away from that. And yes, there's been a debacle there, and there's some things he should have controlled better, like the locker room. We're having guys wearing Mike White shirts while Zach Wilson's still there. Um, how they were trying to get rid of Zach, couldn't get rid of him. Excuse me. Rodgers gets hurt, and now that you're my best guy, come on, you can't do that to people. You know what I'm saying? That to me personally, that's a mishandled situation. The locker room, all that's his responsibility as a head coach. Now, yeah, he's playing like a 40-year-old person as far as Rodgers go. When I say watch, because I don't think he could do the same thing he used to do at one point. I
No,
think
definitely
that
not.
he,
Definitely not.
no, I think what he can do, and I can even say that with confidence now, because when's the last time you seen Rodgers throw 3 picks in one game?
He said it himself. He's never thrown 2 picks in the first half.
Yeah. So right then and there it tells you that there's something wrong. And I don't know if it's the chemistry, because now we go back to OTAs and you not being there and certain camp and you not playing. And, there's a lot that we can point out as to why they're where they're at. I never played football or even played it professional for that matter. But when you hear a lot of these veteran guys say, hey, that's what OTAs are for. Look, Mahomes and them did it. Look how they look. The Vikings did it. Look how they look. You got teams that played their people and look how they're looking right now. They're not looking like they're trying to get their rhythm. They look like they're in stride and doing okay. So I don't know, man. I think Salah get picked up as a DC somewhere. Hell, it might be back in San Francisco. You never know. Um, Doing what he does best. Some guys don't need to be head coaches. Spagnuolo sucked as a head coach, but look,
Yeah.
as a DC on the team, he got what? He got 4 rings, 5 rings, one with you guys, and so four.
He's got four.
Yep, 4. Pushing for a 5th ring and listen, that's okay. I'm fine with that. To go down as one of the best defensive minds, not only one of the best defensive minds, but one of the only few defensive coordinators that beat Brady. That come up with the scheme to stop the Patriots twice in the Super Bowl. I think that's something that you got to take with you, and I'm okay with that. Listen, you don't got to be the head guy all the time. It's okay. Look at Josh McDaniels. He gets fired every time he's a head coach. When he was on the Patriots, he got all the rings as an OC.
They wanted to draft CJ Stroud last year, and he nixed it.
Who nixed it?
McDaniels.
Oh, on the Raiders?
Yep.
And that's why he's not working right now, bro. That's why he sits somewhere.
These
But
dudes, man.
as we transition to the other topics, but let's talk about this real quick. Organizations. They hurt franchises hurt teams. The Jets is one of those franchises that's poorly ran. The Raiders is another one. The hell, the Bengals are cheap. They don't want to pay nobody.
They
Um,
don't even have an indoor facility to practice in.
no. Uh, the Cowboys, Jerry Jones gets too involved. Uh, the Browns is another organization that is ran poorly. And sometimes with these organizations, until you make the right move, you can't get rid of what makes it bad. Like people say with the Cowboys, what you gonna do? Fire the owner? You can't. So until he steps down or he passes away, it's gonna be what it is, and you're gonna wait another 10 years before you see a Super Bowl. Um, the Jets were in a good position, good defense. I just feel they ain't doing enough on offense. And if I'm Devontae Adams, I wouldn't want to go
I
there.
wouldn't want to go there either.
I wouldn't want to go, and I tell you what, I wouldn't want to go to the Steelers either.
I'd go to the Steelers before I went to the Jets.
What about the Bills?
Oh yeah, I would go to the Bills because my talking about it this week, I would go to any team that I know the quarterback is going to be there next year and the year after.
Mm-hmm.
Commanders, Ravens. I never really thought about the Bills, but the Bills, those three teams. So of course, Jaden Daniels, he just got there, so you know he's going to be there.
Yeah.
Allen and Lamar Jackson are like MVP candidates. They're not going anywhere either.
Mm-hmm.
Those are three situations where you know the quarterback is going to be there. I don't know what's going to happen to Aaron Rodgers. This guy's going to be 41 and he looks it.
Yeah.
What if Rodgers says, "Yo, I can't do it next year." So then Devontae Adams is there with they don't even know who the quarterback is next year. So me, I'm Devontae Adams. Of course, you said the Saints are out. To me, I wouldn't want to go to the Jets either.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go. Look, they just fired their coach. They're
Yeah.
under 500. I would rather go to a better team.
And you know what's crazy? They beat the Bills next week, which I don't see them beating the Bills. But if they would have beat the Bills, they'd be in the first place in the division.
I,
That's the crazy thing about it. That's another thing they were bringing up. Like you fire this man and you're a game behind. You're in second place in a sense. Like all you gotta do is beat the Bills, and now you're in first place.
but like, I mean, okay, I get it, but that like you're supposed to feel good about that. That's like if two bums was fighting and then this bum won, and it's like, okay, that's the toughest bum. Like that's what we're gonna look. That's what we're gonna hang our hat on. That these dudes just we in first place. Like okay, but you just crawled up into first place. It doesn't. I get it. They'll get a playoff game, but is it impressive? Is it what they thought they were going to be? No. And
No,
it's
no.
because Buffalo too. Buffalo now, after they play some real teams, they can't do what Mahomes did with not having a number one receiver. They're trying to use everybody, and it's not really working the last two games. So they kind of came back down to earth. Monday's going to be interesting, but they, I okay,
I
yeah, they're in first place if they win. Okay.
yeah, I mean, going looking at it like that, that's true. But these guys don't care about that. They just care about getting to the dance.
I
Let
get
me
it.
make it. But I don't think even if they were to take, I mean, you got to think we're talking about week 6 and you're in first place. You still got 11 weeks to go before you can even finalize the deal, right? But you brought up something, Bills and Josh Allen. You know, they how would you fix that, right? Because I don't know, man. I watched the games. They looked horrible this last week. Who they played? The Texans.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it came down to a field goal. And look, but that's because their defense did something to the Texans because Texans put up 14 in the first quarter, and the rest of the game was 3 points second, 3 points on the third, and 3 points on the fourth. The only real good quarter that the Bills had was the third quarter, and they put up 14 points too. So if I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the receivers, if he doesn't have trust in all of them. But, you know, how do you fix it?
Um, they were missing Shakir, which is
Yeah.
one of his main receivers. They were missing him. I don't know how big a factor that was in the way they looked, but he was horrible. Josh Allen played horrible this weekend. And I think
Hmm.
he was 9 for 30. And he had a concussion. I don't want to hear that shit. He had a concussion. I don't know if you've seen the way his head
Yeah.
hit the floor. This
Yeah.
dude was knocked out. And it looked like he put himself back in, which I think is stupid as well. But I don't know if you saw the end of the game where they were back to the goal line and they threw the ball 3 times.
Hmm.
And they basically three incompletions, punted it, and Texans got a good field goal kicker. They were almost in field goal range as soon as they got the ball back.
Yep. They did.
And this guy McDermott's thought process on that was, oh yeah, well, if we would have ran the ball 3 times, they would have stopped us. They had their timeouts. But so you just did them a favor
Mhm.
and saved their timeouts for them by throwing three incompletions. Like that to me is literally one of the dumbest things I've ever seen watching a game. The
Mhm.
coach did, was that. So I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot going on with Buffalo because they look like world beaters the first 3 weeks, and the next 2 weeks they look just as bad as they look good the first 3 weeks.
And I mean, they went against the Ravens, and then they went against the Texans. Texans are one of the favorite teams
Yeah.
one of the top teams in the AFC, so I get it. But they had mistakes on their side too. You had a fumble, and I think a pick on CJ Stroud's side. Um, it's interesting you said that the concussion they threw it instead of running it. It makes you wonder. But it kind of makes you say like, yo, he was concussed, and you just let him play because why wouldn't you run the ball? He's a big body. Why wouldn't you run the ball?
Or kill the clock.
Yeah.
Let's say they get the ball back. At least you're handicapping them by taking away their timeouts.
Hmm.
But you let them keep their timeouts and you gave them the ball back. So your strategy about them, they could stop us by using their timeouts, backfired. It didn't even work anyway. And you lost anyway, and you looked stupid for your approach when you had the ball last. I don't know, man.
That's why
Buffalo,
I'm getting. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying when you said that because he's a veteran head coach. He should
yeah.
know better. I can understand that from a rookie head coach, and this is your first time having to make this decision. But we're talking a man that's been to AFC Championship as a head coach, and this is a mistake you made.
It's a
I think
rookie
there was more
mistake,
there
bro.
that they were trying to disguise. First off, you don't have the receiving core to do that. You don't have a Diggs, you don't have an Adams, you don't have a Hopkins, you don't have that number one threat that you can count on at least to take double coverage, allowing Coleman or anybody else to be open and and do the catch and catch a ball and score a touchdown. So I don't know. I don't know. That's interesting there. I think they'll be fine against the Jets coming up, but we'll talk about that later on about that game. So I was looking at the notes because we just covered a lot of stuff. um, Lamar Jackson, man, went into overtime, beat the Bengals in a shootout. Do you think Lamar proved he's overcoming his issues? So, a lot of times we thought, hey, when it comes, if you want to beat him, make him throw the ball. And in this game, I watched it because I was hoping I picked the Ravens to win, but I was hoping the Bengals put out the upset. Um, I saw a different side of him. Like he wasn't scared to throw the ball and it didn't rely on him running the ball. Um, what's your take on that situation, that game?
Lamar is amazing, bro. Like I seen some shit from him that I don't know if I spoke about this before, but the when I started hating players was Randall Cunningham, and they were playing the Giants, and Carl Banks had him lined up. He kind of stepped back. He didn't get a good hit on him, but he knocked his legs out from him.
Mm-hmm.
Put his hand down, stayed up, got up, threw a touchdown, and that shit infuriated me. Like I was like, yo, I couldn't believe that he did that. Lamar Jackson this weekend did the same type of shit.
Yeah.
He stiff armed not a defensive back, but a fucking lineman twice.
Mm-hmm.
and threw it across his body, which they tell quarterbacks not to
Not to
do,
do.
and scored a touchdown. Amazing, amazing. And then 4 touchdowns, even with the fumble. And then in that same play, he dropped the ball. He picked it back up, scrambled, and did all that shit. This dude is amazing. And if you look at his and to answer your question, no, not yet, because he has to do that in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But recognizing how great he is, Heisman's don't usually pan out in the NFL, and he's got 2 NFL MVPs plus a Heisman. The resume looks amazing. Did he is he answering those questions? No, because it's not the playoffs. It's week 5 against the Bengals. But I think he's taking, like, when the rocket's taking off, it kind of goes off slow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's doing right now. Like he's gonna get to. I think he gets to a place where he surpasses Mahomes as the best quarterback in the league.
So
He's on his way. This weekend to me was like the yo, I'm here now. Yeah, like I'm not that I'm here now because he's got 2 MVPs, but like now it's time. I'm gonna start running shit. The fact that they got 2 losses hurts them because they're gonna have to play Kansas City. It may have to be on the road in case unless these dudes kind of slip up. But Lamar is a fucking problem, yo, a problem.
so I like what you said because it didn't happen in the playoffs. And I think a lot of people forget that that's his Achilles heel. It's not the regular season. Regular season, he's
Yeah,
amazing.
he's good.
And then you said something else I want to talk about too. Um, but before we go into the Ravens, well, no, we could do a little bit of both. Um, the kid out there is like a giant amongst little people when he's out there playing. That Lamar right there is the Lamar that's unstoppable, right? Because like you said, the snap, he fumbles, he grabs the ball, he scrambles. Hubbard is on him. Twice he stiffs arm him. He going to the sideline because he knows what he's doing. He's running close in case he got to step out of bounds. He's out the pocket so he can throw it away if he needs to. He finds his receiver. He throws it against his body, across his body, gets the touchdown. But he's always done so many magnificent plays. And in this game, there was times where you think, oh no. Because here you got on the other side, Joe Burrow throwing 5 touchdown passes, 1 pick that came at the worst time, but it was 1 pick. He threw for what, 307 yards, playing his ass off. Because in my opinion, he did all he could do to win that game. You can't
Yeah.
ask a quarterback to do more than that. I think the defense need a little bit of help, but that's okay. But 5 touchdowns, and you got to go toe to. That's what I was saying about going toe to toe. He put up 5, I put up 4. You know what I'm saying? Um, to surpass Mahomes though, how many Super Bowls do you think he's got to win?
Well, they're talking about Mahomes possibly getting where Brady's at. Do I think he's going to win 7? No. If he wins 4, he may be in the conversation. So I would say, does Lamar have to win the same amount? I don't think so. But just his overall play. Right now, look at the numbers. Mahomes not even close to what Lamar's putting up right now. I'm talking numbers wise. I'm talking numbers
Oh,
wise.
okay, yeah, yeah.
I mean, because then if you're putting him as far as is he going to win the same amount of championships as Mahomes, then you got to put him in the conversation with Brady because that's who Mahomes is chasing.
Mm-hmm.
But playing just the player overall, Mahomes is not even close to Lamar Jackson right now.
I think, this is a conversation, man, where it's weird for me because I give Mahomes credit because of what he's doing. Um, but I've also knocked Mahomes too because his situation he came into was perfect for him. Um, Andy Reid gets there, he gets drafted. Nobody knew that Andy Reid was looking at him. Saints wanted to grab him. Andy Reid moved up to get him. We don't know if Mahomes would be Mahomes today if he would have went to the Saints, you know? What if Mahomes would have went to the Jets? Would have been the same.
McAdoo was the head coach for the Giants at the time. He wanted
Mm-hmm.
the Giants to trade up for him, and they
Yep.
they they still had Eli, so they weren't going to do it.
So, at least what Sean Payton did was have a conversation with Breeze and say, hey, look, man, Just understand you're getting older. We're gonna draft this young man, let him sit behind you. And Breeze was good with it because he already knew the end was coming. Lamar, like Josh Allen, bro, they've kind of in their own right deserve a certain level of respect for what they've weathered to be there. Lamar was very criticized, had a lot of these analysts and sports people talking about, oh, you should be a wide receiver or a running back. You're not really a quarterback. Um, you're not going to be good in the NFL. And for the most part, his first OC kind of kept him in that running mentality and not throwing the ball like he should have. And then this one started changing the game around for him, allowing his arm strength. And I feel like his arm strength is way better than Mahomes. His arm, like to throw the ball, I think he's a better athlete than Mahomes too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mahomes might have a better IQ, maybe, but I also feel that Reed has done a great job rebuilding that offensive line and keeping a certain chemistry in the building that allows Mahomes. Mahomes changed over time. Remember, he would always go for that deep ball, and then when Hill left, he changed and started taking what the defense was given. So if it's dink and dunk, I'm a dink and dunk you to death until I get to the end zone. A lot of these plays you see him do is not deep balls either. It's in the middle of Kelsey, quick slants, whatever. They'll make it do what it do and happen. I think Lamar, their two MVPs are dope, and one is unanimous. Only two players in history have that, him and Brady. Um, I don't think people give him enough credit for what he's done and what he's overcome. You can never say he had a real number one. Like he's never had a Tyreek Hill.
No,
Marquise Brown, I mean Hollywood Brown was there, but
no.
they didn't use him like that. He's not Hill. His tight end, Andrews in his prime was probably just as good, if not better than Kelsey. Um, the running game has always been him in a sense, it wasn't, and now they got Henry, which you see the difference with Henry there, and then Justice Hill to come out the backfield and catch the ball every now and then. I don't know. I think Lamar Jackson's uh how can I put it? His rise has been a little bit more, I think, admiring than Mahomes in a sense. Now Mahomes got the rings. I like
Mhm.
rings. I like rings. I do. But I think Mahomes' situation was a little different too. I think he walked into a perfect situation. Um, Andy Reid is a lot of people think I don't like him. I do like him. I give him credit. He's probably one of the best offensive mind coaches there is. Probably one of the best. He's up there in head coaches. You know what I'm saying? Um, when you get that kind of stuff, it makes a difference for a quarterback. Coaching makes a difference for any player, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it. I think Lamar's rise can, if when it's all said and done, if he gets a ring, is really going to solidify a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because Elway only got two. He went to 5 Super Bowls, and some people consider Elway to be one of the greatest. Peyton only got two. Some people think Peyton's better than Brady. So you can argue all day, every day, but I think having at least, imagine if Marino had one ring.
Mm.
He broke all the records. If he had everything, he gets one ring, he could say he's the greatest. You could say, well, Montana got four. And I could say, well, Montana had a better team. You know what I'm saying? So, Lamar could be that guy. If I think he needs one though, at least one, and then the accolades come with it. You know what I'm saying? Uh Vikings and Chiefs, bro, both 5-0. Both 5-0. They both finding a way to win. I think the Vikings defense is up there. Chiefs defense is up there. What's your take on both of them?
The Vikings got like a good mix, like offense and defense. And we spoke about the Chiefs before about, look, when Mahomes came in the league, he threw 50 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Now they kind of like pivoted from it being top heavy on the offensive side. Now it's top heavy on the defense side because the defense is legit. And they have a quarterback when they need him to be what the situation calls for, he can do it because
Mm-hmm.
it's Patrick Mahomes. He's not just, oh shit, this guy's a game manager. We hope he can do it. Now they're confident that he could do it when they need it. So they kind of pivoted a little bit. So they don't require him to do that what he was doing with Tyreek Hill, throwing these 70-yard touchdowns, but they're doing it more on the defensive side, and they got the quarterback who's not going to fuck it up.
Hmm.
because he's got experience and he's Patrick Mahomes. Um, of course, we're not shocked that the Chiefs are undefeated. Everybody's kind of shocked that the Vikings are, and the Vikings have they beat some good teams. They beat the 49ers. They just made the Jets look bad. Even
Hmm.
though I mean the Jets ain't a real good, ain't one of those better teams, but they did make them look bad, and that's a team with Aaron Rodgers. They got some weapons and that defense. So I think not a fluke by any means because they've been showing out the Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings right now, Sam Darnold has changed his game around, bro. This dude's sitting at what? He right now currently,
It's coaching, bro.
yeah, he's 5-0, a 63% completion. He's at 1,101 yards, 11 touchdowns to 4 interception. His touchdown percentage is 8. This dude's playing great, man. He's not even his longest one is 97 yards. Um, I think this is probably his best year. Yeah, because look, and just in 5 games alone, he's matched what he did in 6 games in 2002 with the Panthers, and he's halfway to do what he did in 2020 with the Jets, playing 12 games, and he had 2,208 yards. So he'll definitely have a at least a three plus thousand yard season this year if he
Without
can.
a doubt, his
Yeah,
best year. Without a doubt.
yeah, his best year. The only concern is going to be, like you said, playoffs. But the NFC is not what we thought it was going to be. You got the 49ers struggling to win. The Eagles don't know what the hell's going on. Your team pulled out a good win against the
Seahawks.
Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought Seahawks was gonna do handle business when they just went toe to toe.
Everybody did.
Yeah,
Everybody.
when they went toe to toe with the Lions. You know what I'm saying? And now look, so I think the Vikings are in a good spot. I don't know the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm not surprised they're 5-0. Do I think they should be 5-0? No, I think there's some plays and some calls that went their way, and it is what it is. But I wonder how long is that gonna last?
Oh, I mean, it's not sustainable, but as far as the refs are ass every week. Every week there's a game where everybody's complaining about the refs, and you can't say nothing about them. They never are held accountable. The refs suck, but and I can't say that only one team gets favored because they were calling holding on Sauce Gardner the whole almost like on one drive, like he had three in a row. The rep is he holds a lot, and I guess they started calling it on him.
Yeah.
There was at the end of the Chiefs game, they said Olave got interfered with. So it happens all the time, man. The refs, I don't even like talking about it because there's nothing you can do about it. They're gonna suck next week too, and the week after that. There's gonna be people complaining about the refs. So
The only time I seen him do something to a ref was that one ref that was not allowed to do any playoff games or the Super Bowl that year. I forgot who it was, but that was the punishment. Because I guess the crews get graded per game,
yeah,
and depending on how they get graded, they get picked for the playoffs and then Super Bowl, obviously. Um, and this one guy, they was like, nah, he's regular season. That's it. He's not doing nothing in the postseason. And I felt like that was a punishment, because they don't make a lot of money as it is. So, um, but I think there should be some kind of penalty for them. But we talked about that plenty of times. With that, like I feel like there should be some kind of thing. So, all right, yo, we talk about the main games and the 1 o'clock games. What game last week kind of stood out to you in a sense? Like, you don't got to talk about all of them. Which one you felt was one that kind of made you say, like, shit, it was a good game.
uh, the Baltimore and Cincinnati was a good game. Um, Again, they fumbled it. Dude missed a kick. Dude from the Bengals missed a kick. They got the ball back. They gave him life. They were able to win it. Um, Giants. Giants again. Look, you said it. Everybody said it. No neighbors. No Singletary. No Singletary. Starting running backs out. No, wide receiver one is out. Going on the road to the 12th man, and the Giants. And look, they fucked up the call at Seattle's first touchdown, the defensive touchdown.
Hmm.
It looked like it broke the plane, but they didn't call it. He ran all the way back. They gave him the touchdown. So look, and they played through that on the road. They played through that, and that's a team where they've been the punching bag for the last couple years. It's easy to say the Giants suck. It's easy to make fun of Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones has been playing decent, way better than what he's been playing before, and nobody talks about it because it's better to just make fun of the guy. But if you look at his numbers, he's not bad. He's not bad. If they have a kicker against Washington, they probably win that game.
Mm-hmm.
The only real bad game they had was against Washington. I mean, against Minnesota in the first game.
And they're 5-0. So you got to give them credit,
Yeah, exactly.
what it is. You said something earlier, man, about the team, right? They were playing somebody, I forgot who it was. Oh, they beat the Jets, right? And you was like, I have this thing, man, where I feel like you have to the schedule, you don't make it. You only play who comes in front of you. But you got to beat the people you're supposed to beat,
Yeah.
and convincingly, right? You shouldn't struggle against a team that you're supposed to beat convincingly. And you got to learn how to find a way to steal 1 or 2 games from somebody. You know, the Giants, going back to your Giants real quick, um, a lot of people, and including myself, going into the season, didn't give him a lot of hope, right? Because it's like, man, Daniel Jones. But one thing I will say, man, Dable knows how to find a way to get this team to play. And he just showed you that without his number one weapon, and let's be honest, an average team, right? Because who stands out for you guys? Like if you looked at it besides Neighbor, you take Neighbors out and you don't look at the defensive side of the ball, who on offense is going to make you feel like, oh shit? Not even Singletary. He's not a
No,
power back like
no,
that. He's a
no.
pass catching, maybe a screen, a bump the defender out the backfield, catch it and run it for a little bit. To think that you guys were just you beat them, you overcame that adversity. You're 2-3 in a division that right now the only strong team is really Washington. Commanders looks good. And on any given Sunday, you can catch a rookie to make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? I think you got to give credit where credit's due there. One game that was kind of boring, bro, but I like what I saw was the Cowboys and Steelers. Um, I felt that any other game, Dak Prescott screws that up.
Well, he tried. He had 3 turnovers.
Yeah, he did. He did.
But he did save the game when the
It
running
mattered.
back fumbled at the goal line
Yeah.
because that's the game right there.
And
And
he
then the
jumped
next,
on the ball.
I think 2 plays later, he threw it. He hit this dude for a touchdown.
Yeah.
But he did try to give it away. But it's a road win, so I always look at road wins as you kind of get like a bonus for that. Steelers defense is legit. As you can see, they got 3 turnovers off of him. But like you just said, there really isn't an impressive win with Dallas yet.
No.
So the impressive team right now that looks in the division is the Commanders.
Yeah. I tell you what, and to kind of because my team, the game I was gonna say was gonna be the Bengals and Ravens, bro. I think that was probably the best game of the week, the best game of the season so far. I sad that Joe Burrow couldn't pull out the win. They're 1-4. It might be over for them, but I don't think so, man. I think they can if they keep playing like that, they could be the second team in the division, and the AFC's wide open. It's not like we thought it was gonna be. You got the Chiefs, Ravens. Hell, we don't even know who's coming out of the East because the Bills look like they're going to struggle. So, yeah, that was the best game to me of the week was that one right there. And I was mad. I'm a Joe Burrow fan, man. I felt so bad for Joe Shiesty, man. I was like, man, but it's okay. It happens. You know, luckily there's a lot of football left to play. Week 6, bro. We got Thursday night. We got 49ers and Seahawks. I don't know, man. 49ers are concerning. You're giving up leads. You're not finishing the games. I think this can go either way.
Yeah, this is to me is a push. Um, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't know how to call this game because Seattle got they lost 2 in a row. They kind of got embarrassed. Um, they were lining up to tie it, and they got the block return for a touchdown. They got embarrassed, so and then they're home, so they always have the advantage. Home team always has the advantage on Thursday night game.
I don't know. I think I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know that one. If I had a pick, you put a gun on man, I'm going 49ers, but either way it goes, it can go either way.
Yeah,
And
that's
my
us.
I'm taking the wife out for our anniversary dinner. We didn't get a chance to go last week, so we're going out Thursday to a nice place out here for dinner. The 1 o'clock games, bro. I mean, you got the 9:30 game, Jaguars at Bears. Jaguars put out a win last week. I forgot who they even played. The Colts, I think it is. No, who
Yeah,
they there was the
they play
Colts.
the Colts. Yep.
Yeah, it is what it is. They pulled out the win. I'm not too thing. I think the Bears could take them. But and when they're in London, the Jacksonville has like a winning record in London, bro.
Because
Uh,
they're always out there. That's why.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm probably go Bears on that one. Caleb looked pretty good. He's looking better now. A lot better. Yeah. Bucks at Saints. I don't think that's a big thing. Browns at Eagles. Those are all 1 o'clock games. Commanders at Ravens. That's a 1 o'clock game.
Yep.
See, this is right here where I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens because of the experience. But if the Commanders can upset the Ravens, I think that's a big statement game for Jaden Daniels.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? If the Ravens win, they're proven no matter because now we're looking at records, right? This is a team with a winning record with only one loss, and you manhandle them. You start showing people that no matter who NFC, AFC, I'm putting belt to ass, and I'm doing what I got to do. So I think that's going to be a game to watch. The 4 o'clock game,
Lamar's only lost once to the NFC.
yeah, that's you guys. Yeah, Daniel Jones took him to town, right?
That
Uh,
was the first year of Dable.
yeah, yeah. Uh, got him coach of the year that year, right?
Yep.
Yep, yep. I don't know the 4 o'clock games. You got Chargers at Broncos, Steelers at Raiders. I think Lions at Cowboys probably be a good
Yes. Yes.
that 4:25 game. I'm picking lines on that one. I don't see. I don't know. I'm a golf and Dan Campbell fan. I think they got a good team over there. 8:20 game Bengals at Giants, bro, in Jersey. 1-4, 2-3. I don't know, bro. If you get the Bengals to show up like they did last week, it might be a lot, a lot. So I'm probably go Bengals, but Giants been surprising people, bro. Your team has been
This is one. This is like the to me. This is the game like the Niners and Seahawks.
a
Like
push.
I wouldn't be surprised either way. Like
Yeah.
if I was surprised if it turned out to a shootout and they were both going toe to toe, I wouldn't be surprised being the way that they've been playing lately.
Hmm.
Now, are they in first place and they got the best record in the league? No, but they haven't been playing horribly, which is what has been the case the last couple years.
I'd rather see a team, whether they losing or winning, give it your all in the field and you're entertained the whole time, than give me a sorry ass game like we were seeing last year on the Thursday night games. All the games is fucking butt. Monday night, man, Bills at Jets. I think Bills are gonna wash these guys. Um, I don't know. I can't see it. Josh, it's divisional. I think he owns the Jets. I don't know his record. They got Buffalo favored by 2.5 points in Jersey. Um, so you know,
I honestly feel the Jets are going to do it.
damn, that means the Bills lose 3 games in a row, bro.
I think the Jets are going to do it. Jets are home. The change with the head coach.
Yeah,
The Jets defense is legit. Like it's
great.
serious. And Josh Allen hasn't played well the last 3 weeks because he's gone up against good defenses. So I don't know. I'll say I think that I don't want them to win because I find the Jets annoying, but I think the Jets may pull this one out.
All right, man. I don't know. I'm going in. So bye weeks is Chiefs, Rams, Dolphins, Vikings. Those on bye weeks this week. Um, hell, man, Aaron Rodgers got more yards than than Josh Allen right now. What about Kirk Cousins? We didn't even talk about the Thursday night game, bro. Kirk Cousins going in there, like they going the Bucks going into Atlanta and them going to work, bro. Kirk Cousins, 500 yards. Kirk Cousins with the walk-off home run?
Kirk Cousins can play, man. He gets a lot of shit. Kirk Cousins can play. I don't know
Kirk Cousins.
why, but
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is not bad at all.
Well, man, listen, this is week 5 in the books. We're going on week 6. You got anything you want to add before we close it out, bro?
No, that's it for me, man.
All right, man. Well, listen, next week we're going to tune in. We're going to do another show. Hopefully, we have everybody on. Everybody in Florida, please, please. I hope you guys are safe out there. They make sure you guys are good. Oh, and one last thing to my boy Rawls, in the league that I forgot to invite you to, Pedro. My bad. I'm sorry. Um, he put in the comments at the beginning of the week. He said, "Belt. I'm gonna put belt to ass," and he added me right. And now he has CeeDee Lamb, Marvin Harrison Jr., Mooney, Thomas Bryant Jr. or somebody like that from the Jags. I forgot who he had. He had a Darnold at quarterback. And man, 2 of his players put up like 57 points. And I left Joe Burrow on the bench with 44 points. But I was like, even if I had Burrow in there, he would have beat me because I was expecting CeeDee Lamb, Marvin Harrison to show up. And they didn't. And I had Hunt left, and he had the kicker for the Saints. And Hunt did his job. I ended up beating him. So, I want to give a shout out to Rawls for running your mouth before the game started. And just like Gardner Johnson looking stupid for atting me, and you lost anyways. But
Well, what I will add to that is I had Kirk Cousins on the bench.
did you win the week?
No,
If you would have had him, you would have won.
easy.
Damn.
I lost by 6.
Oh yeah, that would have been the game.
Yeah.
You probably would have went into Sunday winning already because of the points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my all receivers did not show up. But that's fantasy, brother.
Yeah, and that's what he said. He said that's why it's called fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to clean up now because he was running your mouth. But anyway, man, thank you for joining us. Share, like, subscribe, follow us. Let us know we could do better. And until next week, is Offsides Podcast. Talk to you later. Peace.